All right, we are sitting in a 2021 Dodge Challenger Superstock. And I was challenged to sit in this car from the difference of a BMW. That was a track beast, all carbon. A Shelby GT500 and a Corvette C8. And I was also told, obviously the BMW is that's a different kind of track monster. So let's compare this more, since this is a Mopar, let's compare it to Ford and GM. So we've got the C8 Corvette, and the Corvette it was, and I'll show you here in a moment, was told it's very fast, this particular one, and it was very, very ride. Like the ride is and rough and stuff. Now, then I was told about the GT500 where the ride is much better, but it just isn't quite as fast as that particular C8. And then there's the Superstock, which is what I'm sitting in right now. This is now supposedly not only rides better than the other two, but is supposedly faster. Let me know in the comments down below if you want to see this and see if we can see how much faster it really is. Perhaps that's something we can get set up. Let's take a little bit better look around. I don't really have the lights on in here, but I'll show you the outside and show you the Corvette I'm talking about and the GT500 we're talking about. Why is it that these Mopars, these Challengers, all that stuff, why do they look so good? Even the classic ones in purple. I don't know. But here's the car from the outside. Obviously, it's basically got drag radials on the back. Big brakes, big supercharger. And steering wheel's really nice. Alcantara. It's very comfortable. The door opens, shuts very soundly. Feels quality. This is the BMW I was talking about, the M4, actually is what it is. That is just the track beast that's in its own thing. It's not, yes, the other ones are track cars too. And I get they can be in that same thing, but let's just stick with the American muscle for right now. On the three conglomerates here, but M4, that daily in it, getting in and out of it, the seats are so bolstered, it's so designed for track use that it just makes it difficult to do that as a daily. So we're looking at muscle daily-ish cars here. Now, let me show you the, let's go to the GT500 next. Might need to put your sunglasses on because that's a bright one. I mean, this has got the carbon fiber pack on it. You've got the carbon fiber wheels, the big giant brakes, supercharged 760 horsepower. You know, I actually have to check on the Superstock on what the power rating of that is actually. Carbon fiber wing. Yes, it's a Mustang. That's really set up, ideally for track use. But we got to get in it, right? So we can compare the comfort. Okay, in the Shelby, still an Alcantara steering wheel. Still feels good. It really doesn't seem bad in here. The door's not terrible either. It's not as good as the Superstock. The seats are definitely more bolstered in here. Now, or the ride. Now, obviously, we're not driving them today, but it is definitely pushing on my legs and my butt a lot more. Yeah, maybe this will hug you a little bit better than the Superstock, but getting it out and comfortability wise, and not like the Superstock didn't kind of hug you anyways, this is definitely, I can see this being a little bit more, I'm not that big of a person, but I can see this being a little more uncomfortable on a longer journey. But yeah, it's got room in here. It's got space. The Superstock's a little more cockpit feeling than this. Cockpit feeling than this. This is kind of, but this is oriented where it faces the passenger, can see things better. But the controls aren't facing the driver so much as just straight back. And we know that's going to change from the C8 Corvette, because you know everything is driver oriented than that, way more so than the Superstock. And yeah, and I've got some details on that Superstock, so hold on a second. We're going to go over those in just a minute, but we need to go sit in the vet and really kind of compare that. Now, I know, right? It's the same color as the GT500 and that BMW. But here it is. There's the C8 that we're talking about. Now, I almost feel like this would be a better comparison with the Z06 once it comes out, but this is not. This is a C8.R edition. Now, we'll get the final specs of this too. But we gotta sit in this as well, right? So I mean, that's the idea. Let's compare it all. Let's do a little bit more walk around. Spoiler as well. Obviously, the C8s are mid-engine. Very nice. I mean, it really does look good. It really does look good. And the interior, this one's a little different because it's got some white interior, or white-ish seat and dash. Either way, they are very cool. That door don't feel too bad. If I were to put them in order, this is a very close second so far. We'll stand out and look, but the Superstock might be number one in the door. This might be very, very close number two, followed by the Shelby. However, this is an extremely cockpit-oriented thing, but the reason I'm doing this is because I was invited to compare the comfort and how they feel. Now, he already kind of told me a little bit the difference of like I told you, this one rides a little bit more bumpier, but it's fast. Where the GT500 is still fast, maybe not quite as this is what he was saying. And I'll get more of the stats on this car as well. I'll let you know in just a second. And but the Shelby has a more comfortable ride than this one, where the Superstock, once again, more comfortable ride. And I was told it was faster. I've got the specs on that. I'm going to go over that in just a second. But in here, the feeling, get in and out of the car. This is just as easy. It's a little lower to the ground though, so that might be the only thing that doesn't make it as easy. But the seat itself, it's got a nice bolster in the back, but not so much in your butt. So it's easy to get in and out. The Shelby was a little bit more, you had to deal with that. And the Superstock was pretty good about that too. So very nice, but man, and you got a movable top. I don't need to turn a light on or anything. And but this is it. Now the steering wheel Alcantara feels good. They all actually feel good. They all feel pretty close to the same. The difference is this is that weird square steering wheel, if you even call it a wheel, because it's not round, but it's what it is. But this is very driver focused. Very driver focused. The passenger has nothing to do but to ride along with you. I guess you're gonna have to talk to them because they can't even play with the radio. Yeah. Yeah, I'd say very, 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 very close second. The door does feel good and solid and shuts good. And the difference is this has a push button, open, and on the inside, so there's less effort. Maybe the door doesn't shut quite as solid, but it's less effort. So does that kind of equal the two out to be about the same? I don't know. So far, what's your choices? Comments below. I mean, is the Shelby your thing? Do you want the front engine, track monster? Do you want the mid-engine track guy? Or do you want the pound you down the quarter-mile pavement of the Mopar? Okay, so conclusion. The Vette. That's only like 515 horsepower, yet in a drag race, it will beat the 760 horsepower Shelby GT500. On a track, that'll smoke it in the straightaways, but the Vette is still a little bit more nimble on a road track. And then you have this. That owns the drag strip. So here's the real story. Those have a lockout, which means you can't access the 806 horsepower that is derived from a redeye and a demon put together, or a Hellcat and a demon put together. So it's kind of a redeye edition. This superstock is, okay. That's why it had the redeye, but it was a superstock because it has a little bit more built up like a demon side, but with the redeye components. Okay. Now, either way, whatever the details are. The horsepower is not unlocked in that car because it has to go through a 1,000-mile braking period before the computer lets you use all 806 horsepower. It smoked that Vette on a drag race. Smoked it. I mean, in a street kind of drag race, so not an unprepped track kind of thing. So how fast is it if it unlocks it? It's obviously going to beat the Shelby, but that's not built for drag as much as it is for a track. And it's possible the same with the Vette. So what do you think? What is your style? You want all drag, not so much road? Do you want all road, or do you want a little bit of both? And you want to see more? Comment below, guys. Which one do you want to see first? Because I may have just got permission that we can actually take these cars out at some point here in the near future to fully compare them all the way. My name is Corey Pratt. Appreciate you guys watching. Like, share, and comment, subscribe, and to remember all you cravers out there, keep craving.